Okay, back again. I've been messing about with the front end of this again, really trying to line up these outer ribs, wage lines, contour lines, whatever you want to call them, and just trying to get it to sort of line up. This section here where it's folded around the pillar where the door hinges go onto, this part here has totally come away. So I'm just guessing where the gap is, and I'm just trying to get this line to sort of flow with this one, and this isn't attached at all, and they're only flapping in the breeze with a couple of tacks there, so it's a little difficult to try and make it all work. I'm trying to get this line to be correct as well, which is proving to be difficult because it's the rake of the front nose, and there's a lot going on. For starters, I didn't have a floor to begin with, so I'm really guessing and then working backwards from that. As I said earlier, I remade these hinge pillars, just the front plate, just so that I could bolt hinges into them. At this point, this is going back a fair while ago I did that, but I don't think I'll even be worrying about that just yet. There's a lot more problems. So this comes together when I push on it. It comes together and the door flexes forward about 2 or 3 mils, and this can flex back a bit. So I've got roughly a centimetre there, but I think once it's cinched it'll be fine. This one part of one pillar that I've got left seems to be lining up relatively okay. This is just sitting in the breeze, and the actual roof is flexed down a little, so by just doing that it sort of lines up with the door. And all I've done is I've just ratcheted this all together. This is about the 5th time I've done it now, 5th or 6th time. I've tried to keep this attached to that at least just for mock-up purposes, but I keep having to cut it and move it because I'm finding that the gap wasn't correct. This side over here has just totally come apart altogether, so yeah, can't really do much about that. So I'm trying to keep the rake, I'm trying to get the rake right, and then I'm trying to keep it from slanting, and then I'm trying to keep it level, which is difficult as well, so it keeps wanting to go out of level. So there's a fair bit going on here, and of course there's no dog legs just yet, so what I've got is the front floor, and then the front frame rails, and then the floor on top, and then these 2 inner valances that I've made, and that was going to be the structure to set this upon and set my heights for the nose skin. So this is all going off of measurements that I'm finding on the net, and there's no real actual measurements that I can find. They're all just sort of pictures, so I'm just working my way through it. I'll just drop down underneath and show what's going on. This may go dark. Yeah, I don't think you're going to see it. And there we go, I got it. So there's the structure. You know, it's only, a lot of it's just tacked in place right now. This one is fully welded where the steering support is. But some of this other stuff, it's tacked for a good reason, because I wasn't definitely sure of where it was. I'll get under here a bit more and show you. So there's the floor, and then there's those two unions. And what I did yesterday was I made the standoffs that bolt onto the front fallance. So they're just tacked in place, so that's actually in a continuation of the main frame rail. And there's one here as well, just tacked in place. It's not 100% definitely gonna be where it is, but it's there for the moment. So yeah, all new steel up in here, and trying to get these to match. All up in here is a bit difficult at the moment, but I'm getting there slowly. It's just one of those things. I haven't got another vehicle to work off of, so basically you think you make progress and then find something that's wrong somewhere else and you have to go back. So, but it's staying relatively straight. This whole section in here is just fallen away now, so I can't use this for any measurements because it's all gone. So once I get this shored up, as in these meet up and I'm happy with the gaps, I'll final weld this pillar into place, and then on both sides, and then I'll come in from the back and weld the pillar and put a bar across to there, and then I'll do the same over here. I'll put a bar across to there, and then what I'll do is I'll come in with the grinder and I'll actually cut the whole nose skin off, pull it away, and then I'll be able to work on the inner structure up here, because that's all rusted away as well. So I'll be able to make that piece, and then the tops of those pillars are fairly rusty and I haven't been able to get in behind to have a look. So most likely they're going to be totally gone, so I'll have to refabricate those. But to keep it square while the nose is off, that's what I'll be doing. And I'll probably, before I take the nose off, I'll make a couple of repair sections to this flange, this rolled edge, and I'll actually cut away here and make it, and then put a slight bend on it so I know that it's going to hit that mark. And then I'll do it down the bottom, one up the top, and I'll do it on the other side as well, so that when I go to put the skin back on, I'll know exactly where it's got to be. Because, you know, if you just cut this off now and then go to put it back on, you don't have an outer edge because it's all rusted away, so you're basically guessing and then you're starting at square one again. So that's where it is. This is obviously going to take a little while to work out. It's not a simple matter of just bolting it back up, because none of it's weldable material. It's all just rusted, so this will take a fair bit, I'd say. But you just got to keep plugging away, I suppose. And it was the same with this area here, this seat box. When I had to join that to the actual frame plate that I'd made, that took about 3 days just to get it right, because obviously the frame rails on either side were quite rusty anyway, so they had to be repaired before I could even weld it in. So it takes a bit, but it's good when you get there. Everything's still looking square. These lines are all looking good. That back end's still not put in, so that's adding to my dramas up the front, just with flex. But I'm hoping that that'll be fine. I don't want to go down that back corner yet because I've got it just tacked into place, that back frame rail. And my plan is to basically, because it's up on stands and it's all square, like I actually laser level the whole thing, it's sitting square now, and then I want to really be able to get the roof level off of that. So, and I'm working with a small area here, so it would be nice to just have it all on rollers and then I can just move it around wherever I want. But if you start doing that on an unlevel floor, even on a rotisserie, you've got certain flex, and then if you've got, you know, say for instance one corner drops down 1/2 centimetre and then you weld something in level, when you go back onto a level floor it's actually going to be higher, and then the whole vehicle's off square. So I know it's difficult now and I really want to get into that back side there, but the important thing is to get the frame welded up solid. There's still a few spots underneath there that I haven't welded fully yet. I wanted that flexibility just until I actually got the front section in. So down in there's a little bit of fudge room for me to lift and drop the front nose. So I mean the whole front end of the vehicle's off the ground anyway. It's only being held up underneath each corner of the frame plate. So the frame plate is a square known plane, and then everything's built off of that. So all your points come forward and then I can take measurements. So I don't want to move the vehicle yet, even though, you know, it would make my life a lot easier. I put it on rollers and I've got a lifter out the back there that can actually lift the whole vehicle off the ground. It's packed away inside the frame at the moment, but once this is in place and I weld up a few more little things, I'll be confident, and obviously getting the majority of that roof back on. Maybe not so much the roof, maybe just the rail, the drip rail. But yeah, then I can put the car up on the lifter, and it's movable. So then I won't be too worried about flex. I want the doors to be able to shut, so, and look straight. So if I start moving this thing around now, it will not have doors that shut right. Yeah, you can shim them up and stuff, but they're not going to be straight. And I don't want to use any bog on this as well, so yeah, it's pretty straight now. There's a bit of flex in this. There's no frame at the bottom of the door, so yeah, just keep working at it and get there. Anyway, leave a comment. Have a good one.